Hey, Kim, it's good to see you. As you know, the Treasury Department recently released its Green Book with the administration's fiscal year 2022 budget tax proposals. And so ahead of these proposed changes, it's probably a good time for us to look at our family assets now to determine if we should take action to protect our financial legacy. You know, I've heard estate planning before, but when I hear estate, I think somebody who has a lot of land or really high net worth. But maybe that's not how I should be thinking about it, right? Who needs an estate plan?
Yeah, so you're not alone there. That's where most
Yeah.
people's mind go when they hear estate or estate planning, but everyone has an estate. So your estate is any possessions, property, or assets that you have. So whether or not you have an estate plan, everyone's going to be impacted, by estate planning, because when they're gone, your assets that you have are going to naturally pass on to someone else. So if you have a plan, then that's great, and those assets are going to be handled the way you direct them to be handled. But if you don't have a plan, then what ends up happening is probate steps in and decides who gets your assets at that point.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit though, because what if all my investments have beneficiaries? Or do I need a will then, or is an estate plan enough?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and one I get frequently. So a lot of your accounts that you have, you can put beneficiary designations on file. And what's great about that is then those assets avoid probate and get handled exactly as you dictate on those beneficiary documents. But where the will can come into play is for all those other things, possessions, assets that can't have a beneficiary form. That's what's going to dictate how those assets get passed after you're gone.
All right. And Kim, I know that when you work with clients, this is a really kind of specialized plan. Let's break down kind of what people would be putting together with an estate plan.
So when I'm talking to people about estate planning, a lot of times their mind goes to the asset side of things. But one thing that I think is actually the most important is to have, as you can see there on the screen, the healthcare directives and the powers of attorney, those documents in place that what if something happens to you and you can't make those decisions for yourself, then there's someone that can step in and make those decisions for you. So those should almost be handled first. And then as far as all your other assets, again, beneficiary documents can be assigned for most of your investment accounts. And then it's up to you and really the attorney as far as whether a will is more appropriate or a trust would be appropriate as far as comprehensive planning.
Yeah, and I think like you said before, it's more you making these decisions now versus the state later.
Exactly. Yeah, no one likes to think about that point in time where, we're gone, but no one's getting out of here alive. So it's so important to think about that ahead of time, because estate planning too, it should not only be about making sure that your assets go to the people that you want them to go to, but to make sure that your assets and investments get handled in the most effective and efficient way possible. So what that generally means for most people is for more to go to your loved ones and less to go to the government. And so that's really where financial planners come into play to help you plan for that time, to try to minimize what goes to the government and maximize what goes to your family and your legacy.
Such an important conversation to have now, Kim. If somebody would like your help with their estate plan, and like I said, I know you're very thoughtful and specific about this, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of us is just to go to our website, and it's got all of our contact information there. That's www.young-wm.com. And you can either email us, there's a form you can fill out right on the website, or give us a call.
That's great. Kim, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.